the Jake Giffen Podcast.
I wanted my memoir to be a testimony to people to say, hey, if you're about to go through something, like, God will be with you. It will be fire, but like he will never leave you, because that's what I experienced. Otherwise, I wouldn't be a Christian today after 8 years of this. I mean, he's been holding on to me.
Yeah. Well, that's the truth. That's the truth. That's the true faith, the trust. It's just, and it helps. It honestly helps when you've heard from God himself. It says, look, this is what we're doing. This is what
Absolutely.
we're going to do this for a while, or,
Yeah.
so
Because that, like, what is going on, like, that was almost harder, frankly. Like, I think as humans we want to know, like, we
mm,
want to control, and knowing, I think it was almost a mercy for him, like, after trying so many drugs and trying so many treatments and going mad as to why he's not putting his hand on my treatments. Like,
mhm.
another closed door after I prayed, like, Lord, don't let me try this drug if it's going to hurt me, and then it made my symptoms worse. Like, after 4 years of that, finally the Lord just made clear. And it was almost like, it was a sad thing that I had to grieve, because I'm like, are you telling me, like, you're not going to heal me, like, on this side of eternity? Like, how long is this going to
Yeah.
be? But I don't know, man. This is why the prosperity gospel is so false and wrong, and just
Mhm.
like hurts people's faith, because like you will be demoralized if you have that mindset and then you bump into your first brush with suffering, which we all do, because Jesus said, in this life you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world, you
Yeah.
know.
Well, and he kind of gave Paul a little glimpse of what he was going to have to suffer in the following of him. And nobody was around going, oh, you know what, Paul, he didn't mean it like that. He didn't mean that you were going to be whipped a dozen times. He didn't mean that you were going to suffer. His real goal for you is that you're rich and powerful and you have all this success and good health. And if you don't have good health, then you don't have faith. I mean, that's not just the prosperity gospel. That's anybody who's come to the Lord in the 90s or early 2000s, when it was like the Lord has a good plan for your life, and you're like, I agree, he has a good plan for our life, but good is kind of a subjective, like, good, like, what is good? Good to me is like a Ferrari and a big house. you know
Yeah. Oh,
good to him is
absolutely.
good to him is godly character and trust. And how
I
do we
mean,
how do we get from here to there?
I mean, yeah, I mean, you're preaching to the choir. Like, all of
Yeah.
these lessons I have painfully learned them. Like, it's just, I mean, I'm almost speechless, because it's like, sometimes I'm like, Lord, why can't we just get to heaven through a joyous path? Like, why does it have to be grief to joy? Like, I mean, even the cross, like, Jesus went through the cross in order to have the glory, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
for some mysterious reason, the gospel pattern is cross to resurrection. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not resurrection to resurrection. It's like the suffering almost seems, I mean, the symbol of our religion is a cross. Like, it's a symbol of torture, man. So it's
Yeah.
like, I don't know. It's, to non-believers, it's probably insanity, right? Like, what's the verse that says, it's foolishness to those of this world, but to
Yeah.
us, for some mysterious reason, he's calling to change our character, like you said, refine us, like, prepare us for heaven. I mean, basically my memoir is like, I mean, it's not wisdom literature, because I'm not like so wise, ooh la la, but it's like I wanted to go on this quest to explore all of these themes about why God allows suffering. And I touched upon many of these. And I still am trying to grow and learn as to
Mm-hmm.
what they all mean. I mean, have you read 2 Corinthians 4:17 recently, which says, our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far
Mm.
outweighs them all. And it blows your mind. It's like, what does that mean? That means that the suffering is achieving the glory. And how does that calculus work? Like,
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
knows? Like, why does being on a bed prepare me for heaven? Like, I don't, it's wild, but like, we have to trust. And the only reason we have to trust is because he's with you in the fire. Like, the
Mm-hmm.
fact that he's with you shows you can trust his purpose, you know?
Yeah. And where is the trust if everything's just going great and you have no complaints and you're always healthy and your bank account's always full and
Right.
whatever. Where's the trust if you never go through any of the suffering?
Exactly.
The suffering proves the trust.
Oh, yeah. That's really good. Yeah.
So it's, I was laying in a hospital. I had 4 surgeries or something last year, and I was laying in a hospital at some point and going, just kind of like at the end of the rope. You've been there. You were there for a long time, and it's still there on maybe probably during seasons. And I'm praying and I'm going, Lord, what are you trying to teach me in this? And and I just got the impression when he told me, he goes, you don't have to know. It's not a lesson you have to know the answer to. Just know that I'm doing something.
Wow.
And you're just like, okay, I get that.
Wow,
I,
that's really relieving. Like that almost helped me now because I'm the kind of person, sounds like you too. It's like I want the answers. Like I want to know what you're doing, why you're doing, so I can kind of calm down. But it's like that release of just trust. Like yeah, this is maybe the secret things belong to the Lord or whatever, but it's working something. I mean,
he's always
I
working.
hope,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's
Do
always
you
working. He's always working something.
Do you think when we get to heaven, like Jesus is going to sit down with each of us and be like, this is what I was doing? Or do you think some things we just might not, because it's just,
Mhm.
who knows?
I mean, it might be that, as you know, because as you're going kind of summarizing your story a bit, I was like thinking about, what did Adam and Eve do? When they had everything was perfect.
Yeah.
Everything was in the right place. Everything was happening for
Oh,
them. It was like no sin in the world, no
oh
nothing, no
my God.
problems. And they gave it up for a bite for the knowledge of good and evil. Like,
Right.
so, it could be, a small part could be that the suffering is going to make the glory that much sweeter, so
Yeah.
so you don't forget. So you
Oh,
don't forget again. Like, once you're in glory, you're not just going to be like, oh gosh, I wish I were back on earth.
yeah. No, totally.
Like, yeah.
No, I think you're right. Like that piece of like, because my dad wrestles with this too. Like lately, he's always like, why can't God, like, why do we have to suffer? Like my dad and I debate theology a lot.
Mhm.
And where was I going with this? Like, oh yeah, and I did tell him one time because I had read it like with John Piper article or something about how like because of all this suffering, it's going to be even more glorious. Like precisely the point you're making. Like God, if he's good, it must be that this alternative universe was the best choice. Like as opposed to just, after Adam and Eve fell, just I don't know, take us all to heaven immediately, or I mean, I don't know, like
Right.
create all the humans at once or
Yeah,
what.
full reset.
That full reset, exactly. Like, why doesn't he just create another Adam and Eve? Like, second chances, he's the God who forgives.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I'm just,
He's like, ah,
but
man, they bit the fruit. Let's start over. We got to do it again.
seriously, I mean,
Like,
no, but think about it. There's the verse that Jesus Christ has existed in eternity's past. I can't remember the verse, but like that suggests that this was the plan all along, man. And then you
Mhm.
get into the questions of what's God's sovereignty then versus the human's free will? Like, where does that, if this was the plan all along to show his grace and mercy and glory, I don't know. Like, that's a whole other
It's
bag of worms.
Yeah, well, it's it comes down on some level. You're talking. We talk a lot about as humans. I think not just you and I think it's just as humans. We like to know what is the next step. What is the purpose of that step? What is the goal of this life? What can I expect? Because we like
Yeah.
predictability. We like security, predictability. That is like
Yeah.
part of our DNA, and it's and we're like these weird finite human beings that are stuck to the earth. We can't fly. We can't freaking swim very deep without dying. I mean, we're just very stupid. Like we're dumb. And a being like God who could create the universe with absolutely no materials at all is playing this thing on a level that is incomprehensible.
Wow. Yeah.
R-
That's a great way of putting it. It's like, how can we even think that we will understand this? Like, it showcases our pride, especially mine. It's like, like
mm.
lately, God has been speaking to me about how He knows what's best for me. And at first, I cringed, man. I was like, what does that mean? Like, that means I need to be on a bed. Like, that means like I need to lose my husband. Like, that means like, what does that mean, Lord? And he kept speaking into it and was like,
Mm,
A, you're prideful, which, okay, I already knew. And, but then B, it was like, he told me, like, just, I mean, we can talk about, but
mm,
like, I see the bigger picture. Like, I see a million things you don't. And it kind of comforted me, because I'm analytical, like the lawyer brain always like wants to go towards like, giving God, I mean, this sounds, I'm being authentic, like giving,
mm,
like imputing reasons on God that might not be so kind, like, Lord,
mm,
why? Like, but then like I felt convicted lately, like if you really believe he is good, can you just trust that he has reasons that you can't see that are good, not bad? Like
mm.
it's not that he thinks you would be a bad wife later to him. That's why Matt had to die. Or the enemy can plant, I mean, the enemy plays with you, it's like he'll
Mm.
put ideas into your mind,
Yep.
but anyway, I'm digressing. I'm just trying to show how I'm still struggling, but I'm in a deeper place of surrender, but with every new grief,
Yeah.
there's a new struggle.
How long did you said your husband's name was Matt?
Yeah.
How long did Matt hang in there?
So he was diagnosed with cancer. All the doctors said that he'll die in 6 months because for that specific kind of rare small intestinal cancer, you typically only live 5 to 6 months. And he lasted 3 years.
Yeah, good for
And we
yeah, we don't listen to doctors. Screw them.
Yeah, and we started dating after he was already diagnosed with cancer. And I was on that bed and he
Mm.
starts visiting me like we were just acquaintances at church. Like I mean, there was nothing really, and he starts visiting me to give me a theology of suffering because this was at a point, it was 3 years into the bed. I couldn't take it anymore. I was just starting to try sitting up again and it was getting worse. And this guy visits me, and he was so Christ-like. I mean, he was like the youth leader of our church. He was a biochemical engineering PhD. I mean, the guy was like, he was a
Stop.
missionary to Haiti part-time. Like he was like almost like Paul, like in human, like comes again. So, and I was like, who are you and why are you so Christ-like? And we would just debate theology. He would sit next to me with his chemo pump, and I would be on that bed spinning, and he would make me laugh, like try to get me to see, like the reasons for suffering. And after about 3 months of visits, we just kind of realized we were crushing on each other.
Stop it.
Like the weirdest thing. Like yeah, you can imagine. And we started praying, like, okay, my parents were like, should we be dating? I mean, I say we because Armenians are collective. Like we just, your daughter dates, the whole family dates. Like it's,
Sure.
you get it. And
Yeah.
it was like, should we let our daughter marry someone who's terminally ill? Like, are we crazy? And yet we prayed, and I swear to you, the Lord spoke to me specifically and to Matt in terms of comforting us, like, and the word from the Lord was, Isaiah 43:20, like take this joy in your grief, because that verse is all about how God gave his people refreshing water
Mm.
during their time of desert suffering. And look at both me and Matt. We were grieving our different trials, and we just decided to get married.
That's ridiculous. That's so good. That's
Yeah, it's a cool love story.
that is a great love story.
Yeah.
And it's so they gave him 6 months and then he lasted 3 years, probably because he was married to you and he didn't want to go anywhere. Right.
I don't know about
And,
that, but
and so he was like, I'm gonna hang on there for as long as I can. How old was he?
he was, let's see, he was 38 and I was 35 when we got engaged.
Oh yeah. So look, there's some things in life that don't make sense.
Yeah.
Right. When you take a brilliant guy like that who is serving and represents the Lord well, and you take him out of the game.
Dude, Jake, this is what my dad asks me every night. Like
Yeah.
he still is like because he's kind of getting into theology with me, but Matt, and so he asked me, and I'm like, "Ah, God, Lord, equip me to answer that. Like I don't know. I mean, I do know, and our whole church was demoralized. I mean, everyone was praying for him. Matt was, I mean, from Haiti to Vietnam, he was a missionary there too. I mean, but the Lord said no, and it's
Yeah.
like. I, I the Lord did give us Genesis 50:20 at one point, and
Mm,
that verse, with the Joseph story and what Satan intends for evil, God intends
mm,
for good, and that really comforted us.
mm.
But I was still bitter, like right after Matt died. I mean, the Lord gave me his peace. You have to read my memoir, but it's like
Yeah.
the Lord was there with me, but I also was like, come on, Lord, just one year of marriage, like I just loved him so much. Like,
Mm,
why give me a gift and then take it away? Give, then take away. Like, he gave
mm,
me the federal prosecutor job, then took it away. He
yeah.
gave me math, then took it away. Like, I don't know what's next. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
The
I'm not trying to be pity party, but yeah,
Well, your memoir, I mean, you look, you're already building, you've already built this memoir, this story. It's finished, right? So it's part one is finished,
oh, thanks.
right? Like it's only part one. You're still suffering and still kind of represents this whole, the last decade or whatever of your life. It's been kind
Yeah,
of just been, turned upside down. That's just part one. Who knows what
thanks.
happens in part two?
Yeah, thanks so much.
It's
It's
like this is the what's nice about humbling ourselves under the mighty hand of the Lord and him and expecting that he'll exalt us at some point, one way or another, whether it's in glory or whether it's in this life, and
yeah,
trusting that is to say, however long it goes, something great is going to come out of the end of this,
yeah.
and that's fantastic. What a story. What the hell? So
Thanks so much. Yeah.
so Matt, and forgive me because like I said, I was, show prep has been a little rough. So I'm getting to hear this kind of like super fresh from you. I made some assumptions that Matt left, right? Oh, and hey man, this chick is twirling around in her head